This article is further proof that employers should be allowed to hire men only because the women destroy the company. They attack the men in the workplace, innocent men. Now look at this. An IT worker sues her boss, believing XX in an email were kisses. Of course, she doesn't believe this. This is a total lie. The BBC is feminist run, so they're always going to put this lie in. There's no way she believes this. Should not be the title of this article. This woman did this. And there's no way anyone would believe that. Now, she sued her boss for sexual harassment after believing she didn't believe his use of XXMYY and question marks in an email asking for information was coded way of asking for sexual relations. So this is obviously a made-up story. What I like about this is this woman was actually named for change. Karina Gasparova. She claimed that Alexander Galandris renamed a work file with his initials AJG. It was abbreviation of a jumble genital. Okay, this is just a made up story. His name is Alexander Galandris. So these are just his initials, and she knows that. She's not stupid. She didn't make a mistake. The Employment Tribunal in London Central Court said Miss Gasparova's perception of events was skewed. See how they do this? This is a hateful bigot. This is hatred towards men, sexism in its purest form. And they always want to downplay it to nothing. It wasn't skewed. It was skewed all right. It was skewed the same way the KKK are skewed against the Jews. Now, Miss Gasparova was a project manager. Yeah, she even had a fairly high position, of course, in the London office, a company that provides paperless trade solutions. She took the firm to the tribunal claiming sexual harassment, discrimination, and unfair dismissal. Okay, I'm glad she got fired then. Though later on, he'll admit that she wasn't fired, that she quit. So this is confusing, right? The tribunal heard she believed her superior, Galandris, was trying to chat her up when discussing business on work calls and claimed he would stare at her. Her claims don't mean anything. For one thing, even if he did, that's not a crime. Two, it's just her words, and she's an obvious liar. Once she claims why and question marks, and especially his own initials or come-ons, we know she's a liar. Now, the hearing told Ms. Gasparova submitted a formal grievance letter, but resigned after it was rejected. Okay, so here they're saying she resigned. Why would she talk about unfair dismissal if she simply resigned? So I expect she didn't get her way, so she quit, and then she lied and said she was dismissed. That's the conclusion you can come to. And of course, say, oh, it was a skewed perception of everyday events. See, they're downplaying it. No, this woman should be blacklisted. And this is what pisses me off. She probably got a job the very next day, right? They might have even given her reference letters, right? If a man does this, he doesn't get employed. Matter of fact, even if the business doesn't blacklist him, he doesn't get employed because men they can't afford to throw away jobs. Men are lucky to have them. Now, this is at least some justice. Ms. Gasparova's claims of sexual harassment, discrimination, and unfair dismissal were rejected, and she was ordered to pay $5,000, or in this case, pounds, cost to S-Docs. Good. But really, this woman belongs behind bars. This is someone who is trying to destroy a man for no other reason other than hatred and sexism. She belongs behind bars. The MRM should be fighting tooth and nail to get real consequences to these assholes. Miss Gasparova, you're an asshole, a sexist, bigot, asshole. And also, at the very least, they should also blacklist her so that other employers know not to bring this hateful person into the workforce. But the true result, or I should say, the first thing I really should be saying is, again, businesses should be allowed to hire men only. Male employees need protection. They need to keep the bigots out. And these women, there's no red flags to let them know who they are. This is just the average woman who gets pissed off. She doesn't like her boss because it's IT. He's probably a nerd. She doesn't like him. Who am I kidding? It doesn't matter if he's a nerd or not. She's a woman. She doesn't like men, and she's going to attack him. So what men have to deal with right now is having society forcing these scumbags into the workforce to cause harm to them. And the MRM should be fighting, again, tooth and nail to stop this. You hear that, MRM? Thank you.